everybody, I was over on Amazon today looking to buy some new posters for my set, and I had the thought, hey, when I get these new posters, I can reveal them initially on my second channel. And then I had the thought, I've never revealed my current set of posters on the channel, so that's what this video is going to be. I'm going to show you all 17 of my posters that I currently have. If you're wondering, I do have 17 of them. They are actual posters that I own. And just so you can get a look at what they are, they're these wooden backed posters. I think they're from a company called Silver Buffalo. On my main channel, I think there's a link in the description to where you can buy them. I bought about half of them at Hobby Lobby, and then I got the other half on Amazon. And so all the current ones I got on Amazon because I have all the good ones from Hobby Lobby already. But so there's kind of the background on what they are, where they come from. So let's just walk through them. All right, well, I don't know why I put this one down. We'll kick it off with this one right here, one of the most prominent of the bunch, Jaws. Just a cool, iconic poster. And I've got a ton of these kind of like franchise ones. What I don't have very many of is just kind of random throwaway great posters. And because they're all made by the same company, Silver Buffalo, there's a limited selection. And that's one of the reasons why I don't have kind of cycle through. I wish I had like Indiana Jones. I wish I had Superman the movie, Jurassic Park. There's so many movies I wish I had, and I could just get new ones every time I do a ranking or something like that. But they're very limited, and the cost varies from $10 to $50, and I don't want to pay $50. And so Jaws makes a lot of frequent appearances because it's kind of one of those non-franchise ones that's just a great poster to make appearances. And for that same reason, that's why Finding Nemo makes an appearance, as it's not a franchise one, and it's a cool looking poster. It's not because I like sharks. The reason that I have very frequently used Finding Nemo and Jaws has nothing to do with sharks or anything like that. It doesn't really even have to do with the fact that I really like Finding Nemo. It's just that the remaining posters I have are Star Wars, DC, and Marvel. Everything else is that. And so these two just get cycled a lot when I'm doing franchises or doing movies that aren't in these three franchises. From there, let's dive into our remaining ones. And actually, even as I'm doing this right now, I'm going, I've got to buy more posters today because I can't have just two that aren't in these three big buckets. Next up, this is the one I get asked about by far the most. People very frequently go, it says Revenge of the Jedi, and there's Revenge of the Sith, and there's Return of the Jedi. There is no Revenge of the Jedi. Thank you for that one. But you don't know your history very well. When they were initially making Return of the Jedi, the original title, very late into production, was Revenge of the Jedi. And they even made posters that they sent out to movie theaters. And the original title for Star Trek II was going to be Revenge of Khan. And they saw, oh, they're going Revenge of the Jedi. And so they changed it from Revenge of Khan to The Wrath of Khan because of this right here. But then old Uncle George went, I don't think that Jedi would get revenge, and so he should just return. And so then they swapped it out, and they went with Return of the Jedi. That's where that poster came from. That's why I have it. That's why it's interesting to me, because they've got the Silver Buffalo of the lightsaber Return of the Jedi poster. That's not very interesting to me. This one, it's an Easter egg. It makes people ask questions, and so I can talk about it, and that's a lot more fun than just a generic poster. Next up, we just got a little Force Awakens one. Actually, one of the things I try and do with my posters in the background is I try and balance out where the text is at. And so this one's text on the bottom, where Finding Nemo is also text on the bottom. And so then I'll pair these two up on the outside, and then I'll have two on the inside that have text at the top. That's also why I use the Star Wars one pretty frequently. Actually, all these kind of Star Wars ones. Next up, we'll do my Empire Strikes Back. I don't really like this Empire Strikes Back poster, but this is just the one that they had. And it's got Vader, so that's kind of cool. But I wish that I had one of like just the classic painting ones of Han and Leia kissing. That would have been a better one. But this is the one that they had where the price was right. And then likewise, classic, love this one. This is the first one I ever got. This is actually the one that led to me getting the other ones. But text on the bottom, once again, that's why I use it quite a bit and balance it with the Finding Nemo one. But so I bought this one 3 years ago. I don't know when I got it. I was several years back. They had it. It was like $10 or something like that. I was like, how could I not buy that? And I bought it. And then when I was building this set, I was trying to figure out how do I make it distinct, because you've got several other guys in the movie space. You guys all know who they are that have a blue wall, shelves behind them. And this is a very nice, clean looking space, but I don't want it to look just like everybody else's. So I was like, I could do movie posters back there. What could I do? Toys? What could I do? And so then I was like, oh, I wonder if they have any more of these at Hobby Lobby. I went to Hobby Lobby and they had a lot of them, and the price was right, and so that's the direction that I ended up going. I mean, the time I went there, they were on sale for $10. So I got spent like $100 getting 10 posters right off the bat, and then I realized there's more of them out there, and if you look for the sales, you can find them for good prices. Next up, I've got way too many DC ones. This is where it gets interesting. I don't use a lot of these very much because I don't do that many DC videos, but got the classic Wonder Woman poster. So this is one I probably should use more because it's a nice clean design that can go with a lot of different stuff. But where it gets tricky is that I've got a whole bunch. I got a number of these comic booky cover type ones that, because it's like a comic book, it's such a distinct style that I want to just mix it randomly, throw it in the mix. So I don't use this one very often. Even though I have it. So when I do like DC villains, makes a lot of sense, but not too many other times. Another one that I use pretty frequently because it has the text at the top. So like I mentioned before, got the Finding Nemo text on the bottom, on the outside with Star Wars text on the bottom, and then on the inside, I'll have this one and which I don't remember which one I lined it up with, but one other one that has the text on the top. Which one is it? Jaws. That's right, Jaws. So then I'll sync these two up because there's text on the top, so you just have a nice symmetry in the look, but classic Heath Ledger in there. Another one I don't use very often because it doesn't match the style of anything else, and so it's cool painting a Batman, but doesn't match anything else. Likewise, comic book cover of Wonder Woman. Cool looking design, but not something that goes with a lot of other things. And so I just got a bunch of these DC ones that sit there. And then every time I pull this one out, people mention it, but comic book design, so it doesn't match a bunch of other things. So, but yeah, people love the Joker with the cat. That's a cute little design. And finally, another batch that I use quite a bit. These ones are common, my Marvel ones. So, Baby Groot, or I guess he's more toddler Groot, I guess is where he's at by this point in time in life. He makes quite a few appearances. And then obvious pairing that happens quite a bit. We get the Iron Man and the Tony Stark. I'll frequently put them on the two outsides as, just kind of like the two icons, so kind of give them symmetry, balancing things out. Of course, classic Spider-Man. I didn't buy this one in my initial batch because I got this other one you're about to see that I don't use very often that doesn't match the style. This one, of course, Spider-Man's classic, and it matches the style of these other ones. And my final poster, and one I barely ever use, once again, because it has the comic book style, but it's because it's Doctor Strange. It's not because it's Doctor Strange. It's Doctor Strange, so I wish I could use it more, but because it's so comic booky, it just doesn't... It's just not the same style as this, and so throwing it in the mix, it feels off, and I don't like to do stuff like that. But so I've got, I need to come up with more like comic booky and general type ones to do, so I can pull these comic book ones out and do more with them. Like I was looking at them today, and they had They had a Harley Quinn one that I really liked, and they had one of the Superman #1 comic book cover that I really liked, but I'm still going, all right, so I have even more DC ones that I wouldn't be able to use very often in a Superman comic book cover one. So anyway, there you go. That's actually my full set of the posters. They are real. They're actual things. They're not CG or anything like that. Another question people ask, people think that this shelf is really far behind, but it's right here. It's just right here behind me. It's a real set. This is a small little corner. It looks bigger on screen. When I was building this space, I was pretty surprised, like, wow, this is much smaller, but it fills out the screen nicely, and these posters aren't huge or anything like that. They look huge when I do this, but when you put it next to me, I mean, it's not actually all that big. Anyway, there you go. There's you have it. That's what my posters look like. Hopefully I have some new ones in the future that are outside of these 3 big franchises, and talk to you later.